Hi there, it's UK independent Stampin' Up demonstrator Halsey here from SlimmandStylish.stampingup.net. Thank you very much for joining me today. This is the card we're going to be creating. It's slightly more delicate than my usual style, I feel, but I thoroughly enjoyed creating this card and I think it looks gorgeous. I'm going to be using the Dainty Delight stamp set for this. This is a carryover stamp set. So over the past month, I've been doing cards that are retiring stamp sets, and now I've decided to do some that are carrying over and we can play with for the rest of the year. This features in the annual catalogue and it's carried over from the mini catalogue. You can get this and everything else I use in the video at www.SlimmandStylish.stampingup.net. Now I'm going to be using these 4 floral pieces for the main part of this card. So I'm just popping them all onto blocks and I'm going to be stamping them using basic black Memento ink because I'm going to be using my blends and this is the best ink for the blends. Now what you want to do is just fill the background. It doesn't matter which way, you don't have to stamp them upright, sideways, all on the same level. Just get the card full. Okay, so you can see that one I've put off to the side. The bottom of it, the stem, doesn't fall at the same place as the others. Just cover the card with flowers. Get as many of these on as possible. It won't look odd. It will just create the most stunning background. This set really is so beautiful and there's so many gorgeous patterns in these flower stems. Get them all on the card. Once I've finished stamping them all round, I'm going to be blending in the colours. So I do have my blends to hand, as usual. I love a good blending project. So there we go, that's pretty much all of the card done. Now I decided to keep the background white. You could have used the blending brushes or the blends to colour in the background, really up to you, but I decided to keep it white. I'm using dark Daffodil Delight here and I'm doing that on all of the little bud pieces to give it a real pop of yellow. One of the things I'm doing with this is I'm not blending that colour. I'm not using dark and light, I'm just using dark. I really wanted it to pop off the page. On this bits here, on the little dotty berry bits, I'm using light Flirty Flamingo. So once again, I'm not using light and dark, I'm just using the one colour. This is perfectly acceptable with blends. Just because they come in 2 doesn't mean they always have to be used in 2. Dark Pool Party here, and I'm using that on the smaller flowers. So I'm looking around all of the bunches I've done, and if I see that style of flower, I'm going to be colouring it with the Dark Pool Party. And then I am coming in with a light Pool Party here, just on the larger parts of those flowers, because some of them are a bit bigger, just to get the colour going out to the edge. But you can see I'm not using it on those smaller flowers that I started off with. Next up, Calypso Coral. This is dark and light Calypso Coral that I'm using. Love Calypso Coral. The thing with Calypso Coral is I never think to use it. And then when I do use it, I really like it. And wish I'd used it a bit more often. So I've used the dark on the big flowers and you can see I'm using the light on the tiny little sprays, which I think are called baby's breath. I think. I'm trying to remember. My nan was well into flowers. She'd have told me what every single one of these were. I'm not green-fingered. I have plants and they just die on me. I had a cactus given to me for Freshers Week a few years ago and it sat on my windowsill and I know you shouldn't water them and that died. So I really am a failure with flowers. So that was dark soft sea foam that I've gone around and done all the leaves and petals with. I did think about using a darker green but decided that I just want the flowers to pop. The leaves are nice, but I wanted the flowers to pop. And that's the background done. So it's created my own DSP on a background. Now you could have done that on an A4 piece and stamped the whole piece and then cut it down and you'd have had 4 cards that you could make out of it. That would have been a great idea. So I'm going to be using "Thank you for your kindness" as the sentiment, and this is the sentiment from within this set. And I'm going to be stamping this. This is on a card scrap, but the card scrap is 10.5 centimetres wide, which is the same width as my card. Okay, so it's not going to be too much different to the width across. And I'm just trimming this down so I can create myself a little banner. And then I'm going to be going in from the corner and I am going to be creating a flag, just like that. Little triangle in there. And then I'm going to stick this onto the card. Now I'm just going to cut it down slightly, and the reason why I was going to do that is because I wanted to see just some of the decorations, so it didn't line up perfectly. Sometimes things can be too lined up, and I like them to just have a little bit of disjointedness. So I'm just going to be using the edges of my dimensionals there. That's a great use of them. When you get to the end of your dimensionals and you just have the edges, keep them because they're great for popping these sentiment strips up. Sticking it down, and then I'm going to stick it onto my card base. So I have a piece of basic white that I've cut in half and scored in half. So I'm just going to burnish this so I can attach my front to it. The front's the exact same size, 10.5 centimetres by 14.8. So there's no frame, no notice around it. It's just going to sit on there flush. Isn't that cute? To finish it off, I'm going to be adding some of our metallic enamel effects. These are in the grey black colour and I love them. I'm not going to be doing too many. I'm just popping 3 on the sentiment strip just for a little bit of detail. And there's the card. So simple, so unlike me, but I fell in love with it. What do you think? And here's the finished project. Thank you for joining me. I do hope that you enjoyed the video. Everything I've used today is available from SlimmandStylish.stampinup.net. If you did enjoy the video, please do drop me a like or leave me a comment. And if you're new to the channel, please do subscribe and come back for more content. I also have an Instagram page that I'm trying to grow at the same time. It's @SlimmandStylish, and every like or follow helps. Thanks everybody for joining me. I hope you have a lovely rest of the day. Bye.